what's up, guys? How's it going? Travis and Susie here from the Wolf Hunters, and we got a reaction video for you. We got this link right there. You can find that link in the description box, which is below the video. There's a link. Click it and pick it. You can request music, movie scenes, comedy skits, live performances, documentary segments, and more for the Wolf Hunterz Reactions channel. Today's video is brought to you by Ozzy Dion, bringing us Dax to Be a Man. Ozzy Dion says,
Travis and Susie, this song by Dax, To Be a Man, is for all the men out there that have been brought up to believe that keeping your emotions to yourself is manly and to just suck it up. In today's society, this is how a lot of men feel. You may need tissues for that one. Now listen.
Yeah, I can talk about this for a second.
Yeah. I think that there is a time to hold in emotions, not just for men, for all human beings. Like, I think that, like, it's not always the right time or place to just unleash your emotions, but rather, I think that you have to release them somewhere. Like, you shouldn't just stuff them in and pretend that they don't exist or pretend that no one cares about your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like sometimes you have to. Like sometimes you have to just act, and there's not time for emotions, and emotions.
In other cases, there's an extreme lack of vulnerability, and no one shares how they really feel in a good way. Not like, tell me how you really feel. I really feel like this.
Yeah.
But like, no, there is like when you ask someone like, "How's your day?" and they're like, "Good." You know, it's like, oh, like, was it really good? Like, did you have a bad moment? Did someone piss you off? Did someone hurt your feelings? You know?
Or like, even like, do you have anything to celebrate? Are you proud of something? Like, all these things.
And so for me, I've been learning about being more vulnerable with friends and family and things, but also being vulnerable in reaction videos, because some of these videos have made us cry, and that is embarrassing. Trying to allow myself to be vulnerable enough to cry on camera for all the public to watch. That's a toughie right there. Sometimes I start laughing before I cry because of that weird awkwardness. So that's been something interesting.
Yeah.
But after I think you go cross that line, it becomes easier. And you realize that, you know, people don't think that differently of you. You know what I'm saying? Where you think like, oh, if I do this, then people are going to think this way or say that or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a few.
And I also think that just some people stuff. Like, I do think there's more pressure on men to stuff their feelings. But I think that, like, for myself, like, I at least used to be a feeling stuffer.
Well, let's save some of this for in case Dax has anything to say, and then we can respond to that.
Okay.
We've done one other one by Dax. That was with Tom McDonald, Adam Calhoun, and Dax. They did a song called Black and White. You guys could check that out. Maybe I'll put a playlist or something at the end of this video, and you guys could check that out. Anyway, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and feel free to comment below.
I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Yeah, I know this life can really beat you down. You wanna scream, but you won't make a sound. Got so much weight that you've been holding, but won't show any emotion. As a man that goes unspoken, that we can't cry when life gets.
You know, I do think that is like kind of like a natural instinct, maybe, is to like, if there's a lot of stuff going on or something emotional or whatever, instead of being like, let's talk about it, like just to be like, you know, just pour a drink, sit back, relax, and just like decompress, you know. Yeah.
It's hard, unconditional loves for women, children, and dogs. We know that we just have to play our parts, and don't nobody give a damn about our broken hearts. Yeah, as a man we gotta pave our way. Our only function is to work and slave. There's no respect for you if you ain't paid. You're disregarded as a human and you can't complain. And if you ever make it up and actually reach that place and find a woman that you love and give her your last name, you'll feel the things that you provide is only why she stays. And when you try to explain, you'll say, I can't hide myself.
This beat slaps
too. I don't expect
too.
you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up.
You know, some of it, there is some pressure of being the man of the house, you know, and feeling like, well, not feeling, but you are responsible for the family, the household, those things like that, you know. And, you know, there is a lot of pressure. At the same time, it also feels a little good, though, to be able to be like, yeah, I'm responsible for these group of people. I'm responsible for this or that, and holding that down. But there is this challenge of the pressure, but there is also like, yeah, I like every time you open your mouth, like you get shot down or there's an argument or whatever.
No, that's true. But then it's like, who'd you pick?
Yeah. But a real man, real man takes care of their family.
When two people bring tiny humans into the world, they should take care of them. Both, two people. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Even though it's scary.
Oh my gosh. Hard. So scary. It's good to be in a relationship where everyone's a team player. Yeah. Same team.
Yeah.
Keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health, then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do it themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die, and that's when they start crying. Then move on to a man to confide in.
It's emotional now. Oh my God.
Then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves. We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be a man.
I have to go on one more.
Sorry.
I have to go on one more tangent real quick. This is where it's important to have good brothers. And like, not, it doesn't necessarily mean a real brother, but like other men around you that help support one each other, have each other's back, and be like, you got this, or like, yeah, I feel you, and just to like, you know, keep pushing each other moving forward, you know?
Yeah, I think that we just have to value.
We sometimes kind of stay in our own little box.
Yeah.
You know?
But I do think that people have to value what the people around them bring to the table. And I do think that...
say it again.
I do think that in general, like, especially to the family unit, it has been kind of pushed down what a man brings to the table. You know, and then, like, he kind of mentions, and then once that man is no longer in the picture or something happens to him, then all of a sudden you realize the gaping hole that is in the family unit, you know? And I think that, you know, I do think that there is something to be said there. I giggled because he said, you don't care about what we know. And I mean, like, that's probably, like, really a serious thing and true for some people, but, you know, I do think that there is a part, I know that for my dad, something that he loves to do is share the things that he knows, because he feels like what he knows is a part of his legacy. And I think that there might be other people out there like that. That's like, you know what? I just want to, if I could just share what I know, that would be awesome, you know?
Oh, it's not like when someone's having a hard time and you have a solution and you want to share what you know. But
that's why I giggled.
They don't want to hear what the solution is. They just want to vent about the problem.
Yeah, but no, but what I'm saying is, like, I do think that, like, if I think about my dad, like, if I go, oh, Dad, how do you build this table? He would be so excited. Like, he would be like, would be like, oh, let me show you what I know. And, like, he would be so pumped to just share his wealth of knowledge with somebody. And I think that goes, like, kind of overlooked, or like, I don't need you to tell me what you know. You know what I mean? And that is not true. It's like,
or it can be hard for one man to ask advice from another man. You know what I mean? Without feeling like I'm less of a man because I'm needing your help, you know?
But I'm rather like,
it's a lie.
Someone's ceiling could be your floor if you just went, you know what? Teach me what you know.
Boom.
You know?
Someone's floor is your ceiling.
Wait, no.
Did I say that right?
Someone's ceiling is your floor.
Someone's ceiling is your floor.
Yeah.
Boom. Why start at the bottom, try to figure it out when you can just
that.
start up here?
Start up there.
Bam.
It's not
Real
about
men
how
do.
we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home. That home. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home.
Comment below. I'm a real man. That was awesome. I like this guy. That was good.
Yeah, I like that too. I also think, sorry, I'm going on one more tangent. I also think that at a certain age, men are like not like hugged anymore. I was telling you that the other day. Like, when you have like a son and they get to, like, I think of my brother. When he got to a certain age, like, he didn't come home from school and have someone that just like said, oh, you're home, and gave him a big hug, you know, because he started being a man. And I think that, like, you know, I think that adults are just all still like kids with bigger vocabulary. That's so, like, whatever you think a child would need, so does an adult. You know, they need words of affirmation. They need a hug. They need a pat on the back. They need, you know,
preach it.
They need acts of service. They need all these things. Everybody, you know, not just one person or the other. Everyone.
Guys, I'll put a playlist up here. I'll have that link right there. You can find that link in the description box below so you can request your own reaction video. Stay tuned. Stay positive.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I just wanna pay my bills.